Yeah, I'll always be a metalhead. Nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
I mean, not jail, not people, not religion, not anything. I'll always be a metalhead. Metalhead leaves you all alive.
You're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome back to the Great Metal Debate Podcast, returning with another amazing metal album review. Today we're covering the new one from Imperial Triumphant, their sixth full-length album titled Goldstar from Century Media Records. Before I jump in, a reminder to like, subscribe, and share all our content on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes, and join in the metal debate by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Imperial Triumphant are a US-based death metal band that incorporates a range of influences, essentially making hopeless any effort to conveniently pigeonhole them into a specific subgenre. I first became aware of the band when I saw them performing live at the ill-fated 2017 Louisville Death Fest and was immediately intrigued by both their music and dramatic stage wear. Jumping forward 8 years, and Imperial Triumphant have released a slew of albums, including the latest Goldstar, and developed a strong following in the US and abroad. Again, the band's music is promiscuous, making it at times hard to describe adequately, and this album is no different. I'll do my best here. For those familiar with Imperial Triumphant's music, Goldstar continues the progression of its predecessor, Spirit of Ecstasy, with a combination and expansion of avant-garde, black, death, and jazz sounds. The 7 new full songs represent a sprawling sonic offering that is once again difficult to summarize, as I fear anything I say won't capture the scope of the music. If pressed, I would describe the overall aesthetic of the record as postmodern, in the sense it is purposely eclectic and incorrigibly interdisciplinary, which results in the music of Goldstar appearing both splendid and also at times disturbing. The lyrics are high art in their style, critical in tone, and post-structuralist in temperament. At surface, you will find songs here that contain plenty of gut-wrenching bass lines and psychedelic riffs, plus maniacal vocals, but that's really only half the story and an incomplete summation. While there are plenty of black metal screams and growls, we're also treated to many other spoken word, choir, cinematic excerpts, and other vocal clips that interrupt and disorient the listener's experience. Similarly, we have with the guitars a variety of time signatures and interludes that are challenging, and I think Imperial Triumphant intended for these parts to be confusing. The textured, grumbling bass is prominent in the mix, and its dismally atonal melodies are strikingly incorporated into the songs. The drumming is varied and intricate, and can at times be difficult to examine or penetrate, as often disturbing as creating a flow to the music. Add to this the outbursts of brass, synths, and piano, and the pastiche is complete. There is something dystopianly indulgent in the brutal yet multifaceted opening track, Eye of Mars. As with every song on Goldstar, it is truly amazing how a band can simultaneously sound so unorthodox, and yet still at times hew in certain familiar sounds with such effectiveness. It is a tough balancing act, but one that Imperial Triumphant accomplishes here with potency. For me, one of the wonders, yet what makes Imperial Triumphant work so well, is that they are a three-piece, and I don't think their music would work as well without the minimalist input. A song like Lexington Delirium really espouses this, as when the avant-garde elements degenerate into death metal madness, there's still a lot of air in the mix and room for the sounds to breathe. You can hear every instrument as nothing ever drowns out anything else, and there is no muddiness to the sound. That said, one of the big criticisms I have of this album, and Imperial Triumphant's music overall, is the lack of melody, and fans of melodic music will be left wanting. While none of the components of this album are catchy, there are grooves and short-lived repeated phrasings. Gomorrah Nouveau is an example, a song which inventively evolves and devolves across one's ears, and might be one of my favorite tracks on the album. The aggressive, noisy, and chaotic elements are undergirded by the swinging rhythm below. Imperial Triumphant are very calculative with their pacing, and I appreciate with this song, as well as on others, where pauses and eerie vocal refrains simmer the listener just before you're dunked back into the swirling death metal noise. Although I generally prefer as much music as possible, on consideration, Goldstar's short 38-minute length contributes to its success. The limited runtime means there's no unnecessary components, and every idea is used to its full potency without growing tiresome or overstaying its welcome. For some, the musical density may be off-putting, and even for those who don't mind, The reality is a lot of the nuanced diversity might go unrecognized on successive listens. The album's pacing is also helped by the two brief back-to-back tracks, New York City and Goldstar, about midway through the song list. The band's attention to detail is a testament to their songwriting skills. One other song that stands out to me is Postmodern. The sections are haphazardly put together, and the flurry of cacophonous noises creates a huge and chaotic zeitgeist. Indeed, the unstructured nature of this track seems to be its goal, with the musical output a complete implosion of meaning. This is glorious black metal nihilism. From desolate and subtle passages to sheer unbridled brutish aggression, there is no denying the compositional complexities and contrasts utilized on Goldstar. In fact, it is very difficult to ignore the juxtaposing feeling that hit from all angles, sometimes in a very claustrophobic manner. The songs and music can be mind-warping, but it is undeniably a rewarding experience. Goldstar is a masterful delivery from one of experimental black metal's most innovative artists. In the back of my mind as I review this, I wonder what the 16-year-old version of me from the 80s would think about Goldstar, or how the nostalgia-craving grandpas, for whom classic metal is the only metal, would react. Not well, probably. It is a far cry from the traditional metal sound, and a departure even from the run-of-the-mill black metal fare, and goes directions few have ever taken. In my opinion, it is a variety of the post-metal sound, although by that I don't mean with Goldstar, Imperial Triumphant have exited the boundaries of metal, just that the experimental nature and choice not to incorporate traditional metal go-to approaches do make them similar to other bands that stretch the genre boundaries. In summary, Goldstar is a dazzling and engaging album, quite unrestrained with its sound, almost driving the listener away, but each time pulling them back in just in time. While I can't say this is my favorite approach to metal, or even something I would make part of my regular listening rotation, I also can't deny the insane artistry and compelling musicianship. I'm giving Goldstar an 8.5 out of 10 rating. You can purchase Imperial Triumphant's new album, Goldstar, from Century Music Records, and get all the band's music and merchandise directly from imperialtriumphant.com.